Hello YouTube, this is Drugoli from That's and Never, and welcome to my Redstone tutorial, episode 14. This is not going to be 13 part 2, this is just going to be episode 14, and this episode is going to be about decoders. And what you saw me build in the last episode, episode 13, is I built this redstone display here, a redstone 7-segment number display, or I don't know what you want to call it, but it's a 7-segment display, because of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 segments. They can either be turned on or turned off. And some of you might already be noticing Minecraft looks a bit weird. It's just because I'm using a HD texture pack. It's just a normal Minecraft, but with HD textures, or higher resolution textures. So, shouldn't be confused. What I've done is I've just taken from, I believe that was episode 12, I talked about adders, and I showed how you can make redstone adders, and a bit about the binary number thingy. And basically what I've done is I've taken these two adders and I've built them over here. These two right here is the exact same thing as what's over there. They're just closer together. And then I have these 4 levers, which stands for all the things we can add together. These two 1s, we can 1 plus 1, or just 1. We're going to have 1 plus 2, maybe just 2, or 2 plus 2, or 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. And they just give power into the adders. And we have our outputs right here. So basically, as I could try and explain this, a decoder, what that means is basically we have some inputs. Let's just say we have these here, these 4 inputs. And what we want the decoder to do is, so when a specific, let me just try and, come on, flip it around, there we go. So when some specific, we're going to have some outputs over here. These would just be outputs. These are not directly connected to this thing over here. Let's just say that when specific ones of these are on, like for example this one and this one, then we want this one over here to turn on. But if this thing is also on, so all of these 3 here are on, then we don't want that one to turn on. Then we want this one to turn on. So it's basically, it takes in a signal and it kind of decodes it into a different signal depending on what the input was. So there are all different types of decoders. The most simple one is one that looks, I'm sorry, it's night here, I can't change the time, but I hope you can still see what's going on. The most simple decoder, at least that I know of, is so we have some, god damn it, there we go. We have 3 inputs, come on, there we go. We have 3 inputs, which then go up 1 level, then they go up 1 more, and up 1 more. So they go like this, and they go 2 forward, 2 down, 2, and then 2 up again. So that's basically how it goes, and then there's a line going here, and also there and there. This here would extend the same way. Let me just try and quickly just build the first one here. And then there would be redstone wire going under here. And there would be a repeater here, and maybe there would be a repeater here. It's not certain, so I'm just not going to place it there yet. But we would have some redstone going across all of this. And let's just remove this one over here. We don't need that one. We're just going to have a 2 decoder. And we're going to have 1 more output. So basically, when we want, for example, if we want this line here to, in theory, this line here, let me just, it's a bit hard to explain until I've actually just built this first part here. You can understand why I have a inverter here in a second. But basically, we can code it now, so if this thing is on, then we want this line over here to change. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a torch here, and then we would have a repeater here. And what that does is if this line is on, then this torch here would turn off. This line here would turn off, which means this inverter over here would invert, meaning the thing would be on. And right now, since the rest here is not built correctly, I'm just going to quickly do the opposite. So you can see now this one's off and that one's on. But if I flip both of these, none of them are on. If I just flip this one over here, then this line turns on. But really, there's no need to explain this converter here in more detail, because this is a giant converter. This thing can be really, really long. Like, if you want to convert lots of numbers, you can see there's a 3 space here between each of the outputs, which is not very convenient for what we have over here, where there's just 1 space in between. So what I tried to do some time ago is I tried to make a converter, or a decoder, which only had a 1 free space between each output that the converter would give. And I've actually succeeded. And what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and explain to you how it works and show you how to build it. So what we want to do is we want to get these lines here, our outputs from the adders, which would, in this case, stand for 1, 2, and 4 in terms of binary. I'm just going to put 1 quick repeater on all of these, so the delay is pretty much the same. Then we're going to have some blocks here. We can build this thing a bit higher. I'm going to try and remember. It's been some time since I built it. But it's really, really simple design. So what we want to do is right now, when none of these are turned on, we want this here to get power. So what I'm going to do is would be a good idea to just quickly get that output in place, which would be like that. So we want that to happen, which means this line here needs to be off whenever these here are not turned on. So what we're going to have is let me just actually increase the length of these a little bit. I'm just going to bring it forward so it fits with the first line. Which is here. We're going to have some blocks. And basically, what you can have here, instead of having redstone torches and repeaters, we're either going to have 1 torch or 2 torches. That's the only thing you can have. You can have 1 torch like so, or you can have 2 torches like so. So what that means, if it's like this with just 1 torch, then it means that this line would have to be off, or on. This line here would have to be on for this output to give out true, or give out on. But if it's like this, it means that this line has to be off for this thing here, for the corresponding input to be true. Now what we want to get this up, and we just want to go across like so. And since right now we want this thing here, this line, you can see right now turned off, because right now it would, for this line to turn on, this line here, for this to turn on, this line here would have to be on, which would just be adding 1. So, which is what we have. Then this thing would turn on, but that's what we want. We want it so when it's not doing anything, we want that to be on. So we need to change all of these to have 2 torches. Oh, oops. We just flip that around. And we need for the last one as well. There we go. So now, if no line here, if no output from the adders are on, that means that this torch is going to be off. It's not affected by this torch in any way. It's only affected by this one. Then this torch would, if this line's on, this torch would turn on. This line here, oh wait, let me get up there. This line would turn on, turning this torch off. This line would turn off. This torch would turn on. And all of these would turn off. These here, the corresponding ones, this one, like for example for the first one here, this one would turn on, that one would turn on, and all of these would turn on, and it will not show the 0 that we're telling it to show right now. So let me just show you, for example, if I want to add 1. 1 plus nothing, that doesn't equal 0. So right now it equals nothing because it doesn't know what to show. So now what we just want to, I guess I can say, code the rest of the decoder. So first of all, I forgot one thing. We need to have a repeater here. For the first line, we need a repeater. Then we can just have a piece of wire, like this. You can see it fits with a 1 distance between the outputs. And compared to this one, which has like 3 blocks there between the 2 outputs, this one only has 1. So it's a lot smaller. Now this here, this output from our decoder, excuse me, we want that to be on, like so, whenever this line here is on. And only when this line is on. So how are we going to do that, you ask? Well, what we need is we want to have 1 torch here. Because what that means, what that means is that when this line here turns on, meaning that this over here is also on, let me just like so, then, oh wait, that doesn't work. I'm gonna need to do it like this. Then this torch here would turn off, this line would turn off, and then this line would turn on. But if this line right here was on, along with this one, none of these would be on because it's not the right inputs. So now we just need the same thing over here. So that this, now we're just telling the decoder basically that this line here needs to be off, this line needs to be off, and this line needs to be on for this one here to be on. So before we continue, I'm just gonna quickly make all of the other outputs of the decoder. It's a bit, I might be flying around a bit weird. It's just because I'm using the built-in creative mode in 1.8. That means I can't turn the rain off either, which is actually pretty annoying because I'm pretty sure rain fucks up Redstone. So I might have to pause the video, but I'm just gonna quickly test. I have like fail. There's like a simple test you can do to make sure the redstone's working or not. It's basically you do like this. You have this connected to a block like so. You're basically testing if the torch will keep turning on and off after being flipped between the 2 states a few times. Then we just decrease the delay a little bit. All we need to make sure is that it's not turning on or off more than 8 times every 5 seconds. As you can see right now, it keeps turning on and off, which means redstone should not be bugged at the moment. It should not be bugged. So let's continue on. This is a good way to check. But I actually don't get why it's raining here because there's snow everywhere. Huh, I guess the biome changed. Oh well, we're gonna continue on. So we want redstone to be here on all of these, and we just need to connect the rest of bits. Now we need to do some adding or addition here to make sure that the right line turns on. The right one here turns on when the corresponding inputs of the decoder turn on. So it's basically, now we need to go through all the different options that we have. So right now we can only show, if I just go through here, we can only show a 0 and a 1. So if we want to show a 2, well, then we need to go look at this line here. We need to go in binary. Let me just quickly get some signs. Well, I'll think that here. Let me get some signs in place. Like so. This line here in binary, this line corresponds with 1. This one 2. This one 4. So in order to show 4, the way binary is going to show 4 is by this line here being on. So that means what we need to do is we need to have basically like this one here, but instead of having this thing over here, we're going to move it one bit this way. So now we want these two to be like so. And here we want some repeaters on each one of these. And something over here. So now, if I can just real quick cut these off so that's not failing. we can actually add up two numbers. It's amazing. But if we go over here, right now it should be showing 0, since nothing's on, and it is. Only these outer rings are on. So now I'm going to add 1 plus nothing, which equals 1. So it shows a 1. Now if I go over here again, now I say, instead of that one, I'm going to do that one. So 1 again plus 0, or 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0 equals 1. Now I'm going to do 1 plus 1, which equals a 2. So you can see, it works perfectly. So let's continue. Now to show a 3, the way you show 3 is having 1 plus 2, which is 1, 1. Or, true. There's thunderstorms even. The way you show a 3 is by having this one plus this one. So both of these need to be on in order for the binary number to be 3. So now, instead of just having... Get down here. Instead of just having one of these, we're going to have two of them. Here and here. Like so. Now, if I just connect it, we should be able to do 2 plus 1. Which would give us 3. So 2 plus 1 equals... Wait, I made a mistake. Stand by. I made yeah, I know. I forgot to put this here. Very simple, I just needed lines here between. So now if I go over here, you can already see something showing. It's showing 3. Amazing. So let's go back. Turn both of these off. So now to show 4, like this is a crazy question. Which one of these lines would have to be on in order for it to be 4? You have to add all of the lines that are on need to be added together. So which line needs to be on? Is it this one, which is 4? Is it this one, which is 2? Or 1? Or maybe 2 and 4? Maybe 2 and 1? If you guessed this one over here, you're totally correct. This line here needs to be on. So, what we're going to do, we're going to do like so. Which basically tells the decoder that... It's not like it has intelligence or anything. It's just a cool way of saying it. It's basically telling it that... Let's see, I need repeaters here. It's basically telling it that this line here needs... Only this line right here needs to be on in order for it to give out the output of 4 here. Or this would correspond to 4. It's just the 4th or 5th output. But if we go to this one over here, I'm basically telling the decoder that this line and this line have to be on, and only these two lines. If any other lines are on, this output here is going to give out false or off. So now we're going to test it real quick. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. We can go over here, and we can see that we have a perfect 4. Awesome. So let's go over here. Wait, I need to turn off the levers. There we go. So now to show 5, we're gonna have to do 4 plus 1, which means these two lines here, this one and this one, need to be on. So we're gonna go over here, which was this one and this one. And then we need to tell the decoder that this line here has to be off. So like that, now we have 5 decoded, or coded in. And the last one, to give 6, that needs to be 4 plus 2. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. So you tell it that the 4th line, or the 3rd input and the 2nd input, need to be on in order for it to give this output here power. So now basically our adder is done. We have a very basic calculator done here. I'm going to show you that 5 and 6 work. So right now it's showing 0 because we're not adding anything. So now we're going to add up 4, which is 2, 2, and 1. So 1 plus 2 plus 2, which is going to equal... wait, I forgot something. I forgot the small redstone pieces between. So here we want to have some redstone lines, since we had repeaters there. Then we're going to have repeaters over here. is basically to make it faster. You can also just have repeaters here as well, but I have a viewer who found out that you can actually just use redstone wire every second space, which is really cool. It makes it a little bit faster. So now if we go over here, it shows a 5. It's awesome, isn't it? So now if we add everything together, which is 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2, it should give us 6. That is so awesome. So we can now turn a few of them off. Let's say 1 plus 2, you can see 1 over here is on, 2 is on, so we're adding 1 plus 2, which equals 3. So there you go. That's the basic principles of how to make a adder or a calculator in Minecraft. If you want to know how to make a subtractor, which basically subtracts two numbers together, I can show you how to do that. It's just a simple upgrade or simple modification to these adders here, and you're basically done. I don't know how to make the subtractors do like 5 minus 10, which would be minus 5 or negative 5, but it doesn't know how to do that. It can only do numbers like 10 minus 5, which equals 5. It can't do 5 minus 10. But I can show you how to build one of those if you want. It's going to be a little bonus video. Also, I might, I don't know if I have any video footage of it laying, but I made, if you want to, you're thinking like, oh man, this is stupid, this is like so, this is a simple addition I can do much quicker than the machine. I made a much bigger adder than this. I made kind of a CPU, which even, it stored two numbers together. It stored two numbers, which you could then add or subtract from each other. I might be able to find some footage I can show you guys. Right now the world is not working correctly. I need some mods installed. But I might be able to find a quick video or some footage showing you how it works. I hope I can find that, else you just have to follow my word, or trust my word. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it would be awesome if you left a rating. And also remember to go comment on my video about live streams, which which game you want to see live streamed, single player game that you want to see live streamed. Right now, since I didn't get any thumbs highest rated comments, I'm just waiting for you guys to give your input. I won't do any of them until I actually know which one more specifically you want. So right now I've started a BioShock 1 single player playthrough. I've never played it before, so it's something entirely new for me. You can go tune in for that on my live stream date. My live stream days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Danish time. Just use an online time converter. There's a link in the description to a good one. What else do I need to say? I think that's basically it. Also, the download link for this world, my Redstone Tutorials world, with every single tutorial, the world will look exactly like this. There's a link for that in the video description, so you can go download and try it out yourself. It should be in creative mode, I'm not sure. Plus you're just gonna have to do. So thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, join my Steam group, tune in for live streams and all of that jazz, and take care.